Right, Jeffer, you banana shoes heifer, let's see it.
I love the energy!
He said tiredly.
And special thanks to Dante. I was reading my feed this morning and saw that he canceled a date and he hopes I don't disappoint him.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Let's take a moment to recognize just how dynamic our industry has become.
Dynamic is certainly a word for it. Struggling is another. You could compare it to a man repeatedly drinking poison before amputating his limbs and then wondering why he's still sick inside. But I get the impression Jeff likes to focus on the positives in these shows. Amidst the sea of Souls-likes, Mortal Shell might not stand out much, but between Phineas Gage, this big beard on legs, and a confused accordion player, it is trying to. Star Wars is in Fortnite again, and I'm not sure for whom that's more embarrassing.
The Death Star's super laser is charged and ready to decimate the Battle Royale island.
That's the most bought line I've heard since last year. Jeff couldn't keep it in his pants, so we're premature congratulating Hideo Kojima on his new scathing critique of Deliveroo in coastal towns.
Everyone experienced the pandemic.
Well, everyone with a conscience. A long, mundane build-up to intense emotion with absolutely no context for either. So a normal Hideo Kojima trailer.
Now I'd like to introduce my co-host for Summer Game Fest.
That wasn't your co-host? I'm calling it now. That's still just Kojima in prosthetics and a dress. Oh, I've got to stop drinking gravel before I do these. How badass can we make a knight with a flannel on his head? Dunno, better cast Tom Hardy just in case.
I shall find no peace. There is only death.
Sonic in a car is still as redundant as the first time you did it. You wouldn't give Mario a pogo stick or Crash Bandicoot rabies.
Unlike another kart racing game, this game will have online cross-platform matchmaking.
Well, shots fired at Mario Kart, but I don't know if Mario Kart noticed. Maybe seeing Hatsune Miku ram Big the Cat off-road into a twisted fiery wreckage will offer that unique gameplay experience that Nintendo can't. But only if that is in fact a feature.
I guess you could say, you gotta go craft.
What if we took those scared, minimalist indie child type games and gave them a gun? Now they can defend themselves against everything except the Epic Games Store. Frame of Groans has an advantageous position where literally any alternate history can only be an improvement. And then Mafia thinks it's okay to have a 1.5-minute long trailer with no gameplay and still sneak a Trojan pre-order horse in at the end.
Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny! Yeehaw!
Before me stands the mortal avatar of the vengeful god of
Nickelodeon.
How exactly do I repent for this?
And some with serious attitude.
Is that like the serious attitude my doctor will have when he explains to me I've got an inoperable brain tumour from watching this shit? Mercifully after that we go to a nice cosy gardening game, like Stardew Valley if the only resident was schizophrenic. Break every health and safety law with this Jurassic Tycoon type game that I kinda can't believe no one's done before. Looks fun though.
Known developer that has done... Yeah.
Oh no, a wild skit has appeared.
Hey, Jeffy. If you're reading this, it means you're killing it at the fest with your oodles of totally natural charisma. Debatable. I'm at your house playing long darts with the fam, and 3...
This feels like an in-joke that nobody was ever in.
You're gonna do me a solid and skip that Silk Song trailer.
Considering there was no Silk Song trailer, that's just psychological warfare on the fans at this point.
Everything's about to change. It's time to look back on your greatest hits.
How sickeningly depressing to say your teenage years are necessarily the highlight of your entire life. Does the game end with a rhythm section suicide pact set to Van Halen's Jump?
Bitter, Mike?
No, are you?
Would you like a pint of bitter, Mike?
Oh, yeah.
With the help of 9 of his friends, he's built an intense action beat-em-up with brutal hand-to-hand combat set in his hometown.
Making a digital representation of your hometown, then populating it full of violent thugs and psychos is a pretty stone-cold statement to make, so long as you never have to move back in with your parents or anything. If I set a game in my hometown, it would be one long QTE of pregnant teenagers mashing Jaeger bombs to not fall into a K-hole.
Will you please shut the fuck up?
And now the blandest cyberpunk ever imagined. As of writing, the CEO is blaming the game's failure on saboteurs. But what could possibly provoke such spite? Agent 47 is how many Mads Mikkelsen's up to now after being typecast for so many years. Reverting to Casino Royale isn't necessarily solving the problem, but I suppose it is tracing it back to the source. Oh, and he's this year's famous person actually on stage bit too.
I did not hesitate for 1 second.
What is Jeff doing to the celebrities that they always look so ill?
Noticed. Excuse me.
Speaking of, is it redundant to say that ill looks sick? Although, to be honest, it might actually be a bit too gross. Oh, never mind, baby kicking mechanics, I'm sold. And besides, that's not the most disgusting thing they've shown across these 2 hours. I would have guessed a Wu-Tang action game is pretty out of the blue, but apparently there's precedent going back as far as the PlayStation 1. Presented by Ghostface Killer. As in, is he like the narrator or a Na'vi type character?
Ghostface Killer is calling on you to rescue his Wu brothers.
I'm not sure you can call them that, Lucy. Also, that soup you're stirring looks about done now. Splitgate, not to be confused with Wildgate, the other sci-fi multiplayer first-person shooter from 20 minutes prior.
I'm tired of playing the same Call of Duty every year.
So we innovated by making a battle royale. He even brought on stage the baseball bat he used to break all this new ground. Although apparently people were more concerned about his baseball cap, to the point where he made a public apology and everything. I didn't watch it personally, I was too busy sneaking a chainsaw onto the one show by wearing a pussy hat. Yeah, we've all had Premiere in flashbacks. Oh, so it is Resident Evil 9. They probably wanted a bigger reaction than that, but they fucked around too much with the teasing, and I'm not in the live audience being paid in bathwater and DoorDash credits, so apparently it's
A bold shift for the franchise, both in tone and gameplay.
So I'm expecting a sultry office romance simulator.
My office.
Coming.
But no, there's still Raccoon City, still evil science, and still probably something zombie adjacent. But at least they're trying to change, and my probation officer tells me that is worth something. Going on about indie developers might not seem so disingenuous the more consecutive years you do it. There was less sponsored fellatio and dirty grey ad breaks this year, but I think instead Epic Games just sneezed on Jeff and paid for the whole show, which is not necessarily an improvement.